Think for a moment, if you will, about the NBA. Think now of who you would say are some of the best players in the league. Go ahead, say their names. Who did you blurt out? LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo? Or maybe you went towards the best pure shooter and now three-point shooter that the NBA has ever seen via Stephen Curry. The man who shocked the world in both college and the pros is easily one of, if not the, best around currently. And yet, despite his skills, people still hate on him. So allow us to show you how Stephen Curry hit a breaking point with fans blaming him for ruining basketball. Number 5. Curry. Stephen Curry has firmly cemented his place as one of the greatest players in NBA history. He anchored the Golden State Warriors' championship success behind his shooting prowess from beyond the arc. Curry has earned the reputation as arguably the greatest shooter, especially after becoming the all-time leader in three-pointers made. However, the success has come with criticism that he ruined how the game is played at the youth level. The overwhelming negative chatter led the Warriors star guard to finally lash back toward those blaming him for ruining basketball. And to be clear, we're not just talking about fans stating that he ruined basketball. There are Hall of Fame reporters like Bob Ryan, whom you might know from the ESPN show Around the Horn, that have made this statement as well. Curry entered the NBA shrouded by doubt that he couldn't translate his collegiate dominance to the next level. The Davidson product dealt with nagging ankle injuries early in his career, but he pushed past that. Curry became the centerpiece of a dynasty, helping guide Golden State to 3 NBA titles and 5 straight finals appearances. The Warriors sustained championship success behind embracing the three-point shot, pushed the rest of the league to follow. Curry and Klay Thompson anchored that charge, fueling the seismic shift to where every team incorporates the heavy dependency on shooting from beyond the arc. As a result, the NBA has seen an uptick in scoring due to rule changes and increased use of the three-point shot. In the 2021-2022 season, 12 teams are averaging more than 110 points, while every team hoists north of 29 attempts from distance per contest. Now you might think that this is not unlike other sports where key changes in rules and styles lead to different mindsets on how to win. However, the change led to backlash toward Curry for influencing the next generation of players to obsessively take three-pointers. The Warrior star guard responded to the noise, which he recently took his reply a step further. Number 4. Curry responds. Curry has heard it throughout his illustrious career, from significant praise to doubt regarding his ability to become an NBA star. Despite ascending into recognition as one of the game's greatest players, he commonly deals with fans blaming him for changing how the game is played at the youth level. Curry's dominance from beyond the arc has influenced many young players to mimic his three-point shooting. All of that has led the two-time league MVP to receive his fair share of social media dealings with videos of kids taking bad shots. During a recent interview on the Knuckleheads podcast with Quentin Richardson and Darius Miles, Curry sent a stern message toward those blaming him for that trend. "I'm going to use this moment to get on my soapbox," Curry said. "Stop tagging me in all these horrible basketball clips of people taking bad shots, telling me I ruined the game. I did not tell y'all to shoot that shot." The 3-time NBA champion is right. He didn't tell anybody to take those terrible shots. Instead, he's repeatedly voiced that it's the years of perfecting his craft that have allowed him to excel. Curry has always preached that hard work guided him to become a lethal three-point shooter. His tremendous popularity has influenced the next generation of basketball players who can't help but try to follow in his footsteps. The bottom line is, Curry isn't going to change the way he plays, and he will continue to embrace his elevated platform to impart knowledge on the youth. Number 3. Mimicking, not excelling. Think of Curry's situation the following way. Imagine you're told to build something, say a birdhouse. Just roll with us on this, okay? You learn how to build it the traditional way based on those who came before you. It's hard work, but it works. Then someone comes in and uses a tool that is perfect for them to wield, and they build the birdhouse in half the time. You're excited by this prospect and try to mimic what they do. You can get it done, but not as fast as them or as good as them. So did they ruin making birdhouses? Of course not, and that's the point here. Stephen Curry didn't start out being the best three-point shooter or pure shooter ever. He struggled at first, as noted before, but he put his nose to the grindstone and pushed himself to get things done so that he could be better for himself and for his team. And it worked. The Warriors are contenders, and if it wasn't for a slump that he went through during the middle of the season, Curry would be the MVP favorite for sure. Even without that, the Warriors are second in the Western Conference. They're favorites to get back to the NBA Finals, and both Curry and Klay Thompson are playing great ball. The phrase, often imitated, never duplicated, comes to mind here, because you can try and mimic what Curry does in terms of his super accurate shooting, but that doesn't mean that you're going to do it. Just ask James Harden with his three-point accuracy. Number 2. Evolution of the game and ONESELF. The other reason this is a sad thing in terms of people saying he ruined basketball is because basketball as a whole has evolved constantly over the years, and it was often some of the best players ever who changed the game as a whole. Look at Bill Russell, for example. The NBA wasn't welcoming of African American players, even if they had superior talent like Russell did. Red Auerbach didn't care, brought him in, and changed the game of basketball forever, including Russell winning 11 titles in 13 seasons, a few of which were of him as a player-coach. Fast forward to the 80s, and the Los Angeles Lakers changed the game with their Showtime offense, which took the fast break to the next level, headed up by Magic Johnson. Or how about the Larry Bird-led Boston Celtics, which elevated the desire for pass-first ball over just shooting? Fast forward to the mid to late 80s, when you had another evolution via a player and a team. When Michael Jordan came in, people thought he'd be good, but not great. Why? Because he was smaller than he should have been. How did that work out for them in the 80s and 90s? A little bit north of Chicago, the Detroit Pistons, via the Bad Boys, pushed defensive dominance and went to 3 straight NBA Finals and winning 2 of them. And just on and on it goes. Later we got big man dominance with Shaq, overall dominance with players like Kobe and LeBron. The Spurs won 5 titles via their balanced use of teams. Giannis went from a person who no one could get his name right to one of the most dominant players ever who is the reigning MVP. We've had multiple European players exude their dominance and skills via Dirk Nowitzki, Nikola Jokic, Manu Ginobili, and Luka Doncic, and of course Steph Curry and Klay Thompson with their shooting ability. The story that goes with all of them is that they changed the league, and at times had to change how they worked and played in order to get to where they needed and wanted to be. Who knows who might change the game next? Number 1, let the man play. Look, if Curry was someone who was shooting a lot of threes and not making them, then maybe some people would have a case. The three-point line is to some the most controversial evolution of basketball as a whole. But the thing is, it's here and it's here to stay. Stephen Curry is a master of shooting the three. Just look at the most recent NBA All-Star game for proof of that. He scored 50 points and most of that was from the three. This is the style he chooses to play with. He can and does shoot two-point plays, but if he has a flow going, yeah, he's going to pop up the threes. And until that backfires in his face massively, it's going to keep going like that. If other people want to mimic him, by all means, but it's their choice, not Curry forcing them to do so. In short, just let the man play ball. So, what do you think? What do you think of this look at Steph Curry and whether he actually has ruined the state of basketball or not? Do you think that people are being too clingy to what they personally feel basketball should be instead of letting the sport evolve as it has for decades? Do you want Curry to get another title to just rub it in their faces? Let us know in the comments below, and we will see you next time on the channel.